The Forest Service gave me a simple job. Spend 3 months in a remote fire lookout tower on Shadow Mountain. They told me completely alone. The nearest ranger station was 10 miles away, and the access road was gated and locked. Just me, the wind, and a million acres of pine trees. The first month was bliss. Pure, uninterrupted solitude. I read books, hiked the surrounding ridges, and watched the sun paint the sky every morning and evening. My only contact with the outside world was a daily radio check-in with the main station. It was a routine I came to cherish. Shadow Mountain lookout to base. All clear up here. Weather's holding steady. Roger that. Shadow Mountain. Good to hear. All quiet on our end, too. Enjoy the peace. And I did, until the footsteps started. It was subtle at first, a crunch of leaves outside my window late at night. I chalked it up to a deer or a bear. This was their home, after all. But then it happened again the next night, and the next. It wasn't the random, ambling gait of an animal. It was measured, deliberate, 2 feet, walking a slow, steady circle around my cabin. I'd grab my flashlight, heart hammering against my ribs, and fling open the door, only to find nothing. Just the silent, watching trees and the moaning of the wind. The snow around the cabin remained undisturbed, a perfect, unbroken blanket. I was starting to think I was losing my mind. During my morning check-in, I decided to ask, trying to keep my voice casual. Hey, Base, just a quick question. You guys haven't sent anyone up my way. Have you had a visitor of the 4-legged variety last night? Just making sure. There was a pause on the other end. Negative, Shadow Mountain. You're the only soul authorized on that peak. The gate's still locked. Why? Everything all right up there? Yeah, all good, I lied. Just a curious bear, I guess. Scared him off. I didn't want them to think their lookout was getting spooked by shadows, but the lie felt like ash in my mouth. It wasn't a bear. I knew it wasn't. The footsteps had a weight, a rhythm that was distinctly human. That night, it was worse. The circling footsteps were joined by a new sound, a soft, rhythmic tapping on the cabin walls. Tap, tap, tap. It moved along the outside of the building, keeping pace with the invisible walker. I sat frozen on my cot, every muscle tensed. I refused to look out the window. I didn't want to see what was there, or worse, what wasn't. I just pulled the blankets over my head like a little kid and waited for the sun to come up. The next morning, I inspected the entire perimeter. Not a single track. No footprints, no broken twigs, nothing. It was impossible. The ground was soft from a recent thaw. A squirrel would have left a mark. I radioed in, my voice trembling this time. I couldn't hide it anymore. Base, this is Shadow Mountain. Look, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think someone's up here with me. I've been hearing footsteps around the cabin every night for a week. The voice that came back was patient, but firm. Shadow Mountain. We've had the Moshak's activated sensor logs from your location running this whole time. It's standard procedure. They pick up anything bigger than a rabbit. The system's been green all week. Not a single alert. Are you feeling okay? The isolation can play tricks on you. My blood ran cold. Motion sensors. You have sensors up here? That's right. 4 of them, covering all sides of the cabin. We'd know if a chipmunk broke wind too close to your porch. The logs are empty. Sun, completely empty. I didn't know what to say. The ranger was telling me I was imagining it. But the sounds were so real. The footsteps, the tapping. They were as real as the radio in my hand. Was I going crazy? Was the solitude finally cracking me? I spent the rest of the day in a fog of fear and self-doubt, jumping at every creak of the old cabin. That evening, I set up my own early warning system. I tied a string of empty tin cans across the porch steps and propped a metal rake against the door. If anything tried to get close, I'd hear it. I sat in the dark, clutching a heavy fire poker, my eyes glued to the door. As the moon rose, the familiar sound began. Crunch, step, crunch, step. It was circling again. My heart pounded. The cans on the steps were silent. The rake didn't move. The footsteps drew closer, right up to the wall next to my window. Then came the tapping. Tap. 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 Right on the glass this time. I screamed. I couldn't help it. I scrambled back, tripping over my chair, and stared at the window. There was nothing there. Just my own terrified reflection in the dark glass. But the tapping continued, patient and persistent. I grabbed the radio, my hand shaking so badly I could barely press the button. Bass. Bass. Come in. It's here. It's outside my window right now. The reply came back instantly, but the voice was different. It was strained, tense. Shadow Mountain. What do you mean? It's here. What's going on? The footsteps. The tapping. It's tapping on my window. But your sensors, you said they were empty. There was a long, terrifying silence. I could hear a hushed, frantic talking in the background at the station. Finally, the ranger came back on. His voice a low, horrified whisper. Sanai, I don't know how to tell you this. We just rechecked the logs. The motion sensors have been quiet. That's true. But we pulled the data from the seismic detectors, the ones we use to monitor for tremors. He paused, and I could hear him take a shaky breath. They've been logging footsteps around your cabin every night for the past week. Perfectly clear. Bipedal prints. But they're not on the surface. I felt the air leave my lungs. My mind struggled to process what he was saying. What? What do you mean, not on the surface? His voice dropped even lower, barely audible over the static. The seismic log shows the pressure signatures, the weight, the gate. It's all there, but it's registering from 10 feet asterisk, underground asterisk. The tapping on the window stopped, and from directly beneath my feet, under the floorboards of the cabin, I heard a slow, deliberate scrape, the sound of something digging its way up. Thank you so much for joining me on this terrifying tale. If you enjoyed this story and want more chilling content, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Stay safe out there, and see you in the next one.